Of me, always seem to know the way. But then one look at you, and the world's all right with me. Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day.
everybody feeling this morning? Are you feeling grateful? Are you feeling grateful? Let me hear you say, I'm feeling grateful. Let me hear you say, I'm feeling thankful. Yes, we are here with this breath. So no matter what happened outside these doors, we're here to share the spirit of renewal, of refreshing. It's a new day, y'all. Here we go. I can see clearly now, the rain has gone. Yeah, y'all can sing along. Yeah. I can see all obstacles in my way. Oh, gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, sunshiny day. Let's do that one again. It's gonna be a bright. It's gonna be a bright, sunshiny day. Oh, I think I can make it now. The pain has gone. Oh, the bad feelings have disappeared. Poof, they're gone. Hey, here is that rainbow. Stand on up. I've been praying for. Hey, it's gonna be a bright, sunshiny day. Let's do that again. It's gonna be a bright, sunshiny day. Oh, look all around. There's nothing but blue skies. Oh, look straight ahead. Nothing but blue skies. I can see clearly now, the rain has gone. If you can feel it, hey! I can see all obstacles in my way. Whoa, gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, sunshiny day. Oh, it's gonna be a bright, sunshiny day. Hey, you know it's gonna be a bright, sunshiny day. Hey, it's gonna be a bright, sunshiny day. Gonna be a bright, sunshiny day. Hey, that's that Jamie Lula. That's that Yaron.
Arne Batson.
Hey, come on. Good morning.
And happy Easter! And happy last day of Passover. Right? Another round of applause for our musicians who've worked so diligently for today. Yaron Spiewak, Arne Batson, and the one and only Jamie Lula. And I'm Reverend Dr. Keith Cox. Good morning. You guys are wound up. I love it. Sorry, Travis. I know that just got your eardrum. So I love it. I think he is risen. It's the way I'm feeling. The stone's been pushed away and a new energy is in the room. And so fabulous for that. So good morning and welcome everyone for coming. And for those of you that are joining us online, a big hello to you. And we have a fabulous service planned for you today. And I'm so happy that you're here to share in our morning. Right, guys? I say you fabulous, right?
Yes.
That's what they said. Good. So happy to be here. So we are the Center for Spiritual Living Los Angeles. I was upstairs in the office a moment ago looking through some stuff, preparing for today, and realized that for our community, this is our 36th Easter service. And so, yeah. So how fabulous for that, and how wonderful to be in this wonderful space, this beautiful space called home, at the Center for Spiritual Living, where we are... we share space, and we are the tenants for Congregation Kol Ami, who's had just a full week here of events and Passover and Seder and bar mitzvahs and bat mitzvahs, and it's just been the rolling of the chairs and the rolling of stuff, and stuff. The parking lot was set up yesterday, and flowers everywhere, and you can feel the energy in the room. And so my objective today, and our objective for all of us, is to continue that energy as we remember who we are as divine beings. Take a moment to love each other. You've all loved each other enough, not enough, but you've loved each other a good bit already. But I do want to say, have a quick hello to each other if you want. Just so jump up, namaste, say hello, feel the energy as it grows, and then we will continue in our service this morning, right? And for those of you online, I invite you to do the same thing, to just feel the presence in the room, feel the honor and the love that's within each one of you, and look in each other's eyes, or look in your own eyes, as I was doing a moment ago in my phone, letting it be a reminder of namaste. The power of the divine in me honors and acknowledges that in you. Hallelujah, namaste. Thank you. You too, baby. You too, yes. All right, so I'm glad isn't it fun to do that, even though we get settled in? And so, as you get back in your seats and turn your attention back to me, you knew I was going to say that. Let's just know together. So deep breath in. And as we exhale, turn around and focus in this direction. We are a community that, as I've said, this is our 36th Easter, that we come together to celebrate the oneness of life and the power of the divine itself. My Easter message for us today is really going to be looking at it through a metaphysical lens. And we have fabulous music prepared for us. And we've got a little guest artist that's going to perform for us today at his request. Yeah, and it's a good day. We come together to primarily focus on the philosophy, faith, and way of life known as the science of mind. The science of mind, at its very core foundational belief and tenet, is that there's only one thing ever taking place in life. That's the energy and the power of the divine. We look at that and call it mind. We call it the thing itself. We call it the creative force, and we call it intelligence. It matters not what we call it, but it's important to know that we are it individualized. Dr. Ernest Holmes, the creator or the revealer of the teaching of the science of mind, says, Spirit has placed the stamp of individuality upon itself and called it you. He also says that Jesus was the example and not the exception. And so the you that exists within Jesus, that individual that we celebrate today and his transformation, is also that same energy within you. And as I'll say later throughout the day, is you don't have to get nailed to the cross to find your divine energy. But it might be something you want to do. It might be something that helps facilitate growth, right? Of course, Jesus Ernesto Reyes took that somewhere else. But whatever it may be, we are all at the point in our own individualization to remember who we are and to use our mind in a way that propagates good on this planet. There could never be a more opportune day than today for that to become our reality, and to use it in a way that not only brings forth good and light and peace and power and beauty and wisdom within all of us, but that it puts it out into the universe and propagates more of itself. That's because we live in a universe that is governed by spiritual law, meaning that that which the universe is responds to that which we place upon it, literally as well as mentally, and then brings back to us, through us, experiences of life that are reflective of our state of mind. Which takes it down to that very core statement, one of the statements that drew me into this teaching in 1982 and has kept me here, is if you want to change life, at the very core foundation of life, what was called upon us is to change our thinking. And so let's give a big, changing our thinking by saying a big thank you to our audio technician, Travis Smith, who has been working so diligently and working really hard for us today. We're going to open our service, as we always do, with the lighting of the flames of faith. And today I invite us to hear these words and to think about something similar to this that has been done in this community for the last 36 years, something of its like, and all the different communities around the world that practice metaphysics, as well as to all of the houses of worship over the last week that have stopped and remembered the light that exists within us. I made a decision to light the candle earlier today and to let the light of this candle permeate the room, both in its nature of shedding light, but also to remind us all that the light that we see is also the light that is within us. It's called Lighting the Flames of Faith, and we perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples and all faiths, all sentient beings come from the one great universal presence, which we call spirit. And so fundamental to this truth is the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here today. And so this candle that is lit signifies and represents many different faiths. We include the Tao, and in so doing, we honor the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, that which is known as the natural way, as well as it represents the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality, as well as for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion, and for Judaism. Let's take a moment and just feel that as we sit in this room. Honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law, and we also let it represent all forms of Buddhism. Honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion, and for all forms of Christianity. Honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love, and for all forms of Islam. Honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling, and for the universalistic religion of Baha'i. Honoring the path of unity and peace. And then for all forms of new thought, that which we practice here at the Center for Spiritual Living in Los Angeles. Honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. We bring all of that together and look at this light, this candle, this flickering flame, and declare it the healing candle, and put silently into the light the names of anyone that you would like to have experienced the healing flames of God's eternal love, including ourselves, including our country. And today I would like to read as our prayer a Celtic version of the Lord's Prayer that I think is most appropriate for today. And I invite you to hear these words just as it being the encompassing of all the different faiths we just acknowledged. And if you have any angst around any of the words, just let it go and open up to the intent and the feeling. Holy One beyond all names, eternal wellspring, may love rise again in us today. Shelter for every family and reverence for every life. Forgive us our failings in love and free us from all falseness, that the light of our souls may shine and the strength of our spirits endure, for earth and all its people, this day, tonight, and forever. Amen. Please join us in singing the song, Calling in the Light.
of a love. And so it is, and so it is, and so it is.
Yeah.
Let you run, y'all.
So now it's time for our very special musical guest, who is going to play his string instrument for us. He's been here before and loved it so much, wanted to come back. And when the request was made, I said, yes, of course. And so let's welcome to the beam on the stage, Dier. And so this mic, right? It's going to be this microphone, and Mom is bringing up your music. Mom Star. Another Mom Olivia, one of our board members. Does he know that if he's... Okay, because it's his iPad, right? He knows it, right? All righty, there we go. Are you ready, everybody? Yes. Say yes. All right, say it with me together. 1, 2, 3. Dier. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. All right, there you go, baby. Oh.
It's all good, it's all good.
That wasn't on the program. Well. Okay, we got it, Mom.
Okay.
We got it. All right, he's got it. All right. You got it? Okay, so take a deep breath. You know, when that happened to Itzhak Perlman, he played with 3 strings. I could tell that story while we wait. Right? I hear Arde over there. 90-year-old. All right, you're good. You're good. We want to have, yes, we can. All right. So we're going to do a song and then, all right, can we get you guys, are you guys ready to do the next song?
Of course.
Right. We're good. Yeah, we'll be back. We're not going to take an intermission, but we will. Anybody ever had something like that happen in life where your string got out of tune and all of a sudden you're like, I thought I was in tune. Yeah.
Many times. This morning.
Oh, we're doing.
This one, that one, each one is God's And you will know that this one and that one, each one is God's gift to the world. That all the lonely people, first ones and the last ones, all the great and small ones, ones that win or lose, to all of those remembered, and even those forgotten, to every single nation. I believe these words are true. For me and you, we are, they are. Each one is God's gift to the world. Now put your hand over your heart and repeat after me. I am. Turn to somebody. You are. Everybody sing this. Each one is God's gift to the world. I need everybody to hold your heart for a minute. Say, I am. I am. Look at somebody. You are. And each one is God's gift to the world. We are. You are. Each one is God's gift to the world. Thank you. Yaron!
You're all,
Jamie!
and Arne Batson.
Yes.
How fabulous, right? The lyrics to that song just could not, thank you, Jamie, could not be more appropriate for what we've been studying, practicing, and believing in, and reminding ourselves to believe in on a daily basis, and certainly at this time, which is Easter and the miracle that existed as Passover. Watching the three of you from behind, but knowing you're here, and so many of you that have been here for so many years, it's so heartwarming to have family in the house today, right? It's just have family in the house. We've all been doing this. You now with us for how many years? Like 10 years, whatever. Arne and I have been doing it for 20-something years. Jamie and I, 15, well, 2010, 2009, 2011, somewhere in there when it all started. So long time, and Jamie and I even longer. So heartwarming and touching. Thank you all. So not only is it touching to do it from that perspective, but I'm not a big person on tradition. It's not really my nature, but there is a tradition that I do every Easter, and I'm going to continue it today. And it's called it's just an Easter story. So a man was driving along the highway when he saw the Easter rabbit hopping across the middle of the road. He swerved to avoid hitting the rabbit, but unfortunately the Easter bunny jumped in front of the car and was then struck by his car. The basket of eggs and candy the rabbit was carrying went flying all over the place. The driver, much like all of us, being a sensitive person, as well as an animal lover, pulled over to the side of the road and got out to see what had become of the rabbit that was carrying the basket full of candy and eggs. Much to his dismay, the colorful rabbit was dead. The driver felt so awful, he began to cry. A woman driving down the highway saw the man crying on the side of the road and pulled over. Once stopped, she stepped out of her car and asked the man, "What's wrong?" His response, "I feel terrible. I accidentally hit the Easter rabbit and killed it. So many children will be disappointed. What should I do?" The woman looked him in the eye and put her hand on her heart and said, "Don't worry, I know what to do." And she went to the trunk of her car and pulled out a spray can, and she walked over to the dead, limp rabbit and sprayed the contents of the can onto the furry animal. Miraculously, the Easter rabbit came to life, jumped up, picked up the spilled eggs and candy, and waved its paw at the two humans and hopped down the road. About 100 feet away, the Easter rabbit stopped, turned around, waved, and hopped down the road again. And then another 100 feet away, he turned again, waved, and what? Hopped another 100 feet. The man was astonished. He couldn't figure out what substance could be in the woman's spray can. So he hurried over to her and asked, "What is in your spray can? What could you have sprayed on the Easter bunny to bring it back to life?" The woman proudly turned the can around so that the man could see it, and it said, "Hairspray." It restores life to dead hair and adds a permanent wave. Worth it, right? Not only is it worth it and completely appropriate, but it leads right into our theme for the month because it restores a permanent wave, and a synonym for restore is renew, and our theme for the month is renewal is happening through me. So whenever you feel like you've either been nailed to the cross or been hit by a car, or all of a sudden your candy and your eggs go flying in the air, but I'm bump ching, just get out a can of hairspray and bring yourself back to life. Today, we, like many others, are joining together around the world in observance of Easter, honoring the events of over 2,000 years ago that are an important center point for the Christian faith. Now, here at the Center for Spiritual Living and many other metaphysical environments, we bring to our celebration interpretation, a metaphysical interpretation that allows us to embrace spiritual meaning and principles above the literal level of the story and to find personal resonance, relevance, and opportunity for transformation. The mystical tradition of Easter and this time of year holds that anyone walking the path of awakening towards a full realization of our oneness with God and our divine identity will at some point and in some way personally live the various stages in the story of Jesus' life. That's a big statement. Think about where in your life may you have lived out those stages of Jesus' life. And where may you at some point? Each step of the life of the story of Jesus represents a natural and inevitable step in the journey towards the realization of the Christ truth. The Christ that exists within you and within me. Remembering, as the great Ernest Holmes says, Jesus was not the great exception. He was the great example. As the human gives way to the divine, and all people, they become the Christ. Today it's my objective and my invitation and my purpose for all of you in this room and those online to open yourselves up to become more of the Christ. That pureness of spirit that exists within all of us that is there waiting for its recognition and recollection of it and remembrance of it. And it's through that recognition and remembrance and recognition and remembrance and recollection of it that we then engage it to become more and more in life as a life, and to remember that just as others and we are on a journey of finding personal self-empowerment through a spiritual awakening, this Christ that we speak of is a state of mind. It's a state of mind of believing what is possible in life. It's a state of mind of remembering that the creative force of life created us to be an expression of it, and we are imbued with the qualities of it, which in our teachings include, but are not excluding peace and power and beauty and joy and light and life and love and wisdom. And what the symbolism of Easter is for each and every one of us is that through the ability and the opportunity to change our thinking, ultimately we can change our life, because what we are imbued with is that is calling forth for renewal and rebirth. The symbolic nature of Easter is the process of dying to the old self and then being reborn in a spiritual sense. In other words, it's letting go of any ideology or beliefs or opinions of ourselves that do not reflect peace, power, beauty, joy, light, life, love, and wisdom. And in letting those go, opening up to ourselves so that that which we are innate and is within us to make itself known through us. And if we have challenges in doing that, by then affirming that we're opening ourselves up so that that may happen, and then allow that to happen. I had that moment of kind of an internal burp as I was saying that, because I was thinking of our beloved founder that did our founder meaning the first minister at this community, Dr. David Walker. And he would teach us that if we are having a challenge in our life, to remember that we are the divine, fully imbued with peace, power, beauty, joy, light, life, love, and wisdom, is to declare and claim for ourselves that I am receptive to knowing that. That if I'm unclear about it, to do our spiritual mind treatment around clarity, so to be clear. It goes on to tell us that the metaphysical symbol of Easter is to know that beyond religious dogma lies a deeper meaning that can be utilized for anyone and everyone inclined to live a more fulfilling life. I'm assuming that you're all here today, much like I am, because your objective in life is to live a more fulfilled life. To the best of our ability, moment by moment, thought by thought, action by action, reaction by reaction, and interaction by interaction of the thing itself. And through that journey, what we must be willing to do is to stop, remember who we are, forgive ourselves, and think anew. Last week, it was with purpose and intention I ended our service and then put into our newsletter a journey of affirmations with the invitation and instruction for all of us to use those throughout the week. And it was to lead us up to today, to kind of frame in with the song that Arne just sang, for us to remember that, yes, we are honoring and acknowledging the story of the life of Jesus, who was crucified on the cross so that there could be redemption for all of us, all a story. But to look at that through the lens that you and I have the redemptive qualities within us, when we must be willing to open up and let them be real for us. And the way that we engage in those is through our thoughts, beliefs, actions, reactions, interactions, and the spoken word, and by directing our thought, hence the need for affirmations. And the affirmations that we had last week, I'm going to invite you to say them with me. I'll say them and you respond. I am loved. I am enough. I am beautiful. I am forgiven. I am worthy. I am abundant. I am grateful. I am me. Changes everything, right? Just saying those words, we feel the resonance of that. And so, how was your week, by the way, everybody? Good? Crazy? Chaotic? Unnerving? Fulfilling? Crazy? All of that, right? It all exists. I thought about asking you about your week for the context of I do indeed care, but also as a setup to show you what I wanted to really share is, imagine if you were this person. And it says, what a week. It's the man that was nailed to the cross and then put on a slab, and his name was Jesus. And then from the slab got put into a tomb, and then there was a rock put on the door, and then before you know it, what happened? The rock got rolled away, and he rose up as a miracle. Now, I'm playing with that, but I'm playing within the context as an example for all of us to remember that that story is simply just a metaphor, if you will. It's a story for us to all remember that we're all on some stage of the journey of the life of the individual that was the example and not the exception. And the story that's being told throughout the world today, certainly on Mother Earth, is the story of Easter, which included betrayal and restriction and imprisonment and captivity and disdain and dishonor and pain and death and a crucifixion and resurrection and ultimately salvation. The great Joseph Campbell tells us that it's important to remember this story, which is ultimately what we all agreed to was wanting to live a more fulfilled life, meaning that for us to get there, we must have the redemption. Would you say that Jesus was getting a more fulfilled life once the rock got rolled away and rose up to the heavens and returned back to his pure self, right? But that could only happen because the crucifixion happened. Joseph Campbell reminds us in this understanding of metaphysics and self-awareness and self-evolution and awakening and returning to the Christ-like nature, no crucifixion, no resurrection. The Buddha says it this way, no mud, no lotus, right? You got to go through the journey, and it's through the yin and the yang of life that we get to experience the light itself. Joseph Campbell goes on to tell us this. If we think of the crucifixion only in historical terms, we lose the reference of the symbol immediately to ourselves. Jesus left his mortal body on the cross, the sign of the earth, to go to the Father with whom he was one. We similarly are to identify with the eternal life that is within us. The symbol at the same time tells of God's willing acceptance of the cross. That is to say, of the participation in the trials and sorrows of human life in the world. Anybody had those ever? Right? So that he is here within us, not by way of fall or a mistake, but with rapture and joy. Rapture meaning an awakening to that which is within us, and joy, an innate quality that we're imbued with, and we have to get the darkness out of the way so that it can make itself known to us through us. It does that through our heart symbolically, but through our mind in the real sense, because we're mental beings, and it's in our mind where we get to tune into it. And as we tune into it, then we acknowledge it. As we acknowledge it, then we recognize it. We recognize it as an experience in life, but we recognize it as an experience in life because it's that within us that we give. We only get to experience it because we've given it. In other words, it's staying in that flow of knowing joy is there, honoring that joy is there, giving that joy is there. Then, therefore, because we live in a universe that's governed by spiritual law, it brings back to us that which it is, which is a joyful experience, which is a resonance field of energy, and we acknowledge it and tune into it and go, well, I want more of that. Roll the rock away so I can go through my own rapture and rise up to the Christ consciousness, not to a destination in the sky, but to an awareness of self-knowing. He goes on to tell us that what's always been basic to resurrection or Easter is crucifixion. If you want to resurrect, you must have crucifixion. Too many interpretations of that crucifixion have failed to emphasize that. They emphasize it, though, as a calamity. And he says if you emphasize solely the calamity, then you look for someone to blame. And that's why the Christians have so often blamed the Jews for it. But it's not a calamity if it leads to new life. Through the crucifixion, we're unshared. We're able to be born to resurrection. That's not a calamity. We must look freshly at this so that the symbolism be sensed. What does all this mean? It means that it's important for us to not take not only these stories literally, but to not get caught up in the stories that are unfolding in our lives as being literal. Yes, we live in a cause and effect system, and yes, there are experiences in our life that may or may not feel good, and yes, on some level, we're all part of the cause of that which is showing up in our own lives and at the macro of life itself, but there's always a deeper meaning if we're willing to consciously awaken to the journey of being a metaphysician, which is what we've all decided to do by being a participant in the teachings of the science of mind. And if it's not easy to look at it from a metaphysical perspective, at least then choose to look at these stories as a metaphor. What is a metaphor? A metaphor describes something by saying that it is something else. Yesterday I was out walking my four-legged spiritual offspring, Sweeney, on a glorious walk, and we were just enjoying the sunshine in the spring, and it was the morning, and I had been preparing for this, and I was thinking about metaphor and how am I going to use metaphysical and metaphor all together in this message. And we're walking through the park, and it's just fabulous. And I look over and I see this lovely lady and this little bitty girl, and the lady is on rollerblades and the little girl is on roller skates, and she's trying to teach the little girl how to skate. And they're at a place in the park in West Hollywood where there is it's a decline. It's going down, and the girl's like, no, I don't want to do this. And I went over to them, and like Sweeney's friendly, and I said, I just want to share with you that in the early 80s, I co-owned a roller skating rink, and I taught roller skating. Can I teach her some of the moves? And the lady goes, yeah. And I'm like, it was 100 years ago where I taught, the skate, and I gave them the moves, and off they went. And we kept walking, and as we got to the other side of the park, they're coming up, and the woman points to me, and she goes, there he is. And I'm like, oh, you're doing great. And she said to me, I have to share with you something. And I go, what? And she goes, the whole way around the park, she kept saying to me, I don't know that I believe his story. And I said, meaning what? And she goes, well, I believe he taught roller skating because he showed me that, but he doesn't look old enough for that to have been 100 years ago. And I thought, a metaphor. That's a metaphor. And then I thought, you're damn right I don't. No. I share that with us today, both for fun and to remind us all that when we are committed to being on the journey of finding personal self-empowerment through a spiritual awakening, that the spiritual awakenings are always there. It's important for us to open ourselves up to seeing life through a different lens, to be open to a different perspective, to not get attached to how we think things are supposed to unfold, but when they unfold differently than we thought, to open ourselves up and be open to what the next thing could be, and know that as the next thing unfolds, it too inherently within itself is the divine making itself known, manifesting itself. Why? Because that's its nature. That's its nature. And in our philosophy, faith, and white life, we teach at our very core that really that is all there is. Now, that's a big concept to wrap your head around when the stuff is unfolding in the world today that's unfolding. But let's put it in the context that, yes, some of what's unfolding is really unsettling. It's really, let's leave it at unsettling. How about that? But do you think watching Jesus being yanked and marched through the streets with a cross that he was going to soon be nailed to is also an unsettling time? Yeah. I'm not saying that one is better or worse, that any of it's worthy. All I'm saying is that it's human nature that for there to be the lotus, there must be the mud. For there to be the redemption and the resurrection, there must be the crucifixion. And it doesn't mean that you have to literally be nailed to a cross. Don't say anything, Jesus Ernesto Reyes. But it means that we can tune into, because we're mental beings, the awareness and the willingness for self-reflection. And in that state of self-reflection, ask ourselves, am I willing to open my mind and my heart and my soul to have revealed through me, if I don't already know what that is, where there is space in my mind to grow? Where can I let go of what was and be open to that which is, and that which ultimately only is the energy of God, one thing, and in so doing, not only allow it to make itself known, but as I allow it to make itself known, I honor it, I acknowledge it, and then I consciously give it back to the universe without attachment. You think Jesus said with every hammering of the nail, it's worth the trade-off. I'm going to get to rise up into the heavens. I doubt it. It's all still kind of a metaphorical, metaphysical story. But the point is, don't be attached. Know that there is always something unfolding. What we're called to is a higher consciousness. Well, when is the time for a higher consciousness? Now. It's now. Because the only time we ever have is now. And to give ourselves perspective today, to have a new relationship to the cross. In Christianity, the cross symbolizes redemption through the sacrificial death by the crucifixion of Jesus the Christ. It stands for suffering, triumphant, and victory. I was raised a little Southern Baptist boy, and Easter has special meaning to me and really bad memories as well. And for the longest time in my life, I could not look at the cross without it having some horrific meaning to me. And there was definitely pain and there was definitely suffering. And about probably 15 years ago, I made the commitment to myself that I wanted to look at that differently. And I started wearing crosses, and I wear them a lot. And even at a dinner last night, someone said to me, "You look a little bit like a priest tonight." And I said, "Well, thank you." She goes, "No, not your hair, honey. Those crosses around your neck." And I wear them with purpose. And the purpose is that I don't look at it from the perspective of the symbol of crucifixion. I look at the pieces, the vertical piece, that represents I am grounded and rooted in my spiritual beliefs while always reaching for that higher. And in the horizontal pieces, I look at that as if it's the places where at each end is the bar of movement. Meaning that as I continue on the navigation of the journey of my life of finding personal self-empowerment through a spiritual awakening, it's much like being in a boat going down a river. And I'm going to be going to one side and then the other side, but the goal and the objective of the journey is to stay as much on course as possible, although there will never be one direct line because there's gravity pulling, there's life pulling, there's things happening. But because I am a mental being as you are too, we know that when we choose to use our mind in a way to stay as close to the center as possible, the outcome in the experience will reflect that because it must. Yes, hallelujah, hell yeah, and amen. Now, in churches across the world today, people are being taught that journey of Jesus, and we've gone through what the journey is, was really all about his atonement for the sins of humanity so that he could die so that you could have salvation. Good story, somewhat of a crock. Conceptually, it makes sense because it's saying is not he dying, but the energy died so that the Christ consciousness could come up. My beloved peer, Reverend Dr. Mike McMorrow, last week gave an Easter story that says, as metaphysicians, let's let go of the term atonement. There's nothing that we have to atone for. However, much like everything else in life, when we have the opportunity for a new perspective, let's reframe that word so that it no longer says we're here for atonement, but look at it from the perspective and declare for ourselves we're here for at one meant. You've heard it before. I had not. What does at one meant mean as a difference from atonement? At one meant means the state of being united or reconciled in our relationship to the divine and humanity. And certainly when there are moments that we feel that we were at odds with life itself, to bring into harmony through our thinking, through our actions, through our reactions and our interactions to life itself, by affirming that healing is taking place. And the great Ernest Holmes says us that healing is the act of revealing wholeness, wholeness being a synonym for oneness. And so the act of healing, by choosing to believe that we are the Christ consciousness already, we're tuning into the vibration and the frequency of the only thing that there is, which is God. Another term for God is one. And so when we use our mind, our voice, and our being to declare that is true, we are aligning ourselves with that one. In other words, then being at one. So therefore, it's an act of at one month. And anything that's contrary to that must disappear. And what comes into our being is an awareness, an acceptance, and an affirmation, and a declaration that we are that which it is. In other words, we are the Christ consciousness in play, and then let the law do its part. And it will do its part, and as it does its part, we then are on a journey of evolution, conscious evolution. And so there's no need then to literally be hammered or nailed or crucified, other than to just go through a continual act of remembrance, alignment, forgiveness, experience, remembrance, alignment, forgiveness, experience. And so today, it's my goal and opportunity and objective for each of you to walk away from here today with a new perspective. not only just for the celebration of Easter and to enjoy the chocolate and the eggs and all of that, but to give yourself a break and a perspective and a gift. To remember that oftentimes on the journey of life, there could be obstacles that show up. And sometimes what looks like an obstacle in your past is just actually a gift meant for you to look in a different direction. It's from looking in that different direction, then you can have a new perspective, and it's from that new perspective we get to have a new perspective, a new experience in life. And so today, let's remember the story of the hare. And let's remember that we have someone very dear to us by the name of Dier. And from there, we will get to share what we know and heard, and ultimately provide us an opportunity to care. And it's through caring that we can be kind. Aesop tells us that no act of kindness, no matter how small, is ever wasted. And so let's bring this message full circle. You're about to come up here, baby, and share your gifts. Let's bring it full circle back to the prayer that we heard today in the lighting of the flames of faith. And let it be foundational within us as to the message that we chose at a very deep level to come here, to hear, to resonate with, and then as to be an instruction for how we're going to live our lives moving forward. And it's this: O Holy One beyond all names, eternal wellspring, may love rise again in us today. And may we do our part to make sure this is true. With food for every table, shelter for every family, and reverence for every life. Forgive us our failings in love, and free us from all falseness, that the light of our souls may shine, and the strength of our spirits endure for earth and all its people, this day, tonight, forever. Amen. Thank you. Namaste. And so, dear, the stage is yours.
'Cause when you love someone, you open up your heart. When you love someone, you make room. If you love someone, you're not afraid to lose them. You probably never loved someone like I do. You probably never loved someone like I do. Probably never loved someone like I do. You probably never loved someone like I do. When you love someone, you open up your heart. When you love someone, you make room. If you love someone, you're not afraid to lose them. You probably never loved someone like I do. You probably never loved someone like I do. Just play the chorus. When you love someone, you open up your heart. When you love someone, you make room. When you love someone, and you're not afraid to show them, you probably never loved someone like I do. You probably never loved someone like I do. One more time. When you love. 'Cause when you love someone, you open up your heart. When you love someone, you make room. And if you love someone, and you're not afraid to lose them, you probably never loved someone like I do. You probably never loved someone like I do.
He did. So for those of you that are over 35, over 40, or over 50, we used sheet music, let's just say it, right? Like, this is like your GPS in your car, right? Like, look at what he's playing for. Isn't that fabulous? So I was saying to them earlier in the week, can we get sheet music? And they're like, sheet music? Like, what world are you talking about? Obviously a very different one, right? I saw your face, Tom. All right, here you go. Thank you, dear. So fabulous. Good job. Another one. You want to move on? Are you good? Are you good? Okay. What a joy today, right? How are you guys all good? Yes. Good. So, you know what we're gonna have? Are you guys good on time? We've got a couple. We got another song by Jamie we would like to do. Right? You're gonna hear Jamie Lula in the house. No, go. We all want to hear you, baby. They can wait for pound cake and cupcakes and.
I wrote this on a Good Friday. I wrote this on a Good Friday at Agape when we were many, 20-something years ago. And I went and sat at the piano, and I don't play piano. But I went and sat there and started this song after Kathy Mack had done her meditation. And it goes something like this. Into your hands I commit my spirit. Into your hands I commit my soul. Into your hands I surrender. Into your hands, oh Lord. I don't know what the divine plan is. Can't make sense of what I can't see. Yet I know that it's an order beyond my wildest dreams. Into your hands I commit my spirit.
Into your hands I commit my spirit.
Into your hands I commit my soul.
Into your hands I commit my soul.
Into your hands I surrender.
I surrender. I surrender.
Into your hands, oh,
Into your hands, oh Lord.
serenity is not the absence of life going on around me. It's the stillness I find at any moment, and the truth that sets me free. Into your hands,
Into your hands.
I commit my
Into
spirit.
your hands I commit my spirit.
Into your
Into your
hands
hands. Into your hands
I commit my soul.
Into your hands I commit my soul.
Into your
hands. Into your hands.
I
Into
surrender.
your hands I surrender. I surrender.
Into your
hands. Into your hands.
Oh Lord.
Into your hands, oh Lord.
Into your
Into your
hands. your hands I commit my soul. Into your hands I surrender, I surrender. Into your hands, oh Lord. Come on, y'all. Into your hands, oh Lord. I'm the children say, into your hands, oh Lord. Let me hear you sing, into your hands, oh Lord. My Lord, sweet Lord, dear Lord.
Yeah.
That's Jamie Lula.
Oh, one of my favorite Jamie Lewis songs. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Oh, what a full day we've had, right? So wonderful. Thank you all for being here today and for bringing your energy into not only the room and sharing it with life itself and being a conscious participant in being the change on our planet. And you're all doing that whether you're aware of it or not, and I know that you are aware of it. And so on behalf of the Center for Spiritual Living Los Angeles, thank you. So we have an opportunity to support our community financially, and for those of you online and in person, and whether we do that in this very moment for each of you or not, know that we appreciate all of that. We are a tithing community, and 10% of what comes in either goes back to our parent organization or back out into the world to make a difference. And so know that all that you participate in the flow of good is deeply appreciated, acknowledged, and put to good use. Just recently we tithed to an organization called CSL-LA. And it's an organization that provides a multitude of other things, but legal assistance to individuals who are working on their immigration status here or are being challenged by their immigration status. And so I just want you all to know that, you know, that we as a community practice what we preach. And so, yeah, baby, we do. And so Sandy's going to pass the basket around, if you will, if you'd like to donate. And I invite you to do that here. And if you want to go online, our website is csl-la.org. You click on donate or to the app in the App Store. And so as that's happening, say with me, today I give
Today I give
with an open heart.
with an open heart.
As I give,
Because I give,
the universe does its thing.
the universe does its thing.
And by God, literally, whatever that means to me,
Whatever that means to me,
returns it to me,
returns it to me.
multiplied abundantly.
Abundantly.
So it is.
Little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, yeah, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. On Easter Sunday morning, Easter Sunday morning, I'm gonna let it shine. Easter Sunday morning, Easter Sunday morning, I'm gonna let it shine. Easter Sunday morning, Easter Sunday morning, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Woo! Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Hey!
There are substances of flour and sugar and find out all of who and what we are. We'll be back online next Sunday morning for our Sunday morning service. Wednesday morning at 8:30, we have our midweek morning meditation. I invite you to join that and see that. Every morning we have a new thought text for the day that goes out at 7:30. You can sign up for those. Ours today is this, by me. Easter is a myth, but also the holiest day of the Christian year. It speaks deeply to each one of us as a concept and a learning tool. And so we're going to close with a spiritual mind treatment, and after that, then we will sing together the song, Let There Be Peace on Earth, and I invite us to all let that be also an instruction for us together as we sing that. And if it feels comfortable for you, close your eyes, and if not, then they shall remain open. You can stay standing if you want to. So as we close out this time together, let's feel gratitude. Bringing into our heart the energy of what we've shared in this room, and then extending that to those online. And feeling the energy of those online coming back to us in this room. Remembering that's an outer example of all that there is one thing taking place. And so as I extinguish the light on the candle, we feel it igniting itself within each one of us. And letting it be a reminder of this little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine as we navigate our humanity day by day, thought by thought, phone ring by phone ring. Jesus is calling, saying, I'm ready, baby. I'm ready to ignite myself within you. And then he goes, hello, I'm here and I'm ready. It's all good, Tom. It's fine. Joy is a part of who and what we are. And let's not forget, that could have been that little Easter bunny. They've been sprayed with hair spray, hopping and waving. We're reminded, and the phone was just that, to not take it all so seriously. And then to go forward, letting there be peace on earth as it begins with each one of us.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator. United all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect